B-roll.
Hello. See, what just happened there was my imposter syndrome came along and said,
What the fuck are you doing?
why are you trying to help people? You know nothing. Hello.
Hello. So, my lovely, lovely queens, legends, and everyone in between, this is your bonus on imposter syndrome. So, over the course of the course, you will have had a voice in your head telling you that you can't fucking do this, just like we just had. And this is my sister. She is also a fully trained psychotherapist.
No, absolutely not a psychotherapist. I am a gestalt trained counsellor.
There we go.
Which is...
Let's not go. It's
a fancy way of saying I do therapy, but in a different way to psychotherapists.
There we go. So, Sam is dealing with imposter syndrome amongst many other things all day, every day. So, I have invited Sam to her own office so that we can talk about imposter syndrome, talk about our imposter syndrome, tell you about what imposter syndrome is and how you can honour it, because you can't beat it, right?
Yes, it's always going to pop up.
That pesky little voice, so how you can honour it, how you can quieten it, and how you can still achieve with those voices in your head. So, should we start with our imposter syndromes?
Yeah, that seems like a good place to begin. Do you want to go first? Or...
No, I'm going to... So, Sam, would you like to tell me about one time you experienced imposter syndrome?
Only one?
All right.
There are many. I get imposter syndrome all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, like I said, I'm a fully trained and experienced counsellor. I work mainly with children and young people. And on my bad days, my imposter syndrome tells me, why are people sending you their children? You don't know anything. You don't have children. You're not a parent. Why? What? Who? Who are you? And it can catch me and I can spiral. I've had to do a lot of work on that.
We can talk about that on the next
another time. But yeah, that pops up a lot of the time if I'm not feeling particularly great, physically, mentally, if I'm vulnerable in any kind of way, that voice will come along and yell in my ear that, who do you think you are?
The audacity of this bitch.
Like, what? Just go and sit in a corner and do nothing. That's the only thing you're good for.
Go do some colouring in.
It can be quite nasty.
Yeah, it can get really
It can
nasty.
be a really horrible place to find yourself if you don't know how to get a handle on that. It's one of those things, it's a psychological phenomenon. It's not something that's diagnosable like, dyslexia or ADHD or something like that. It's one of those things that just kind of happens and now we have a name for it. I like to think of it as a type of anxiety. I don't know if people would agree or disagree with me on that one, but for me personally, when it kicks in, the warning signs are there, the feelings of anxiety are there, the sort of the self-doubt, the oh my god, everything is awful,
hide,
go to bed and stay there,
hide.
Either heart rate's going bananas or you're just really, really flat. So I kind of think of it as a type of anxiety and I deal with it in the same way that I deal with my anxiety. But we'll come to that in a minute because now it's your turn.
So I guess one of the easier, if the cat comes, there's a very loud cat in this house. So I'm actually just going to pause for 1 minute and shut that door. Otherwise you'll go, Mah!
Just leave it running.
Okay. That's probably my imposter syndrome telling me not to record it and shut the door instead. So, obviously the journey that I've been on, I'm still a hairdresser, I still work behind the chair and I still work with clients on a daily basis. Not daily, that's a lie. When I got into the coaching element, I've always educated young apprentices. So to end up in a world of educating adults, I tell myself almost every day that I shouldn't be doing this, when actually, yeah, the way I deal with it is write about it. Like you can prove yourself wrong in a sentence. Here's a great example. I am obviously in coaching circles myself, And I do not believe people will take me seriously because of my appearance. My coach is 6'2", covered in tattoos and northern, and absolutely fucking killing it. I know that's a lie, but my imposter syndrome is still dealing with that.
It runs deep.
It runs deep. And just because somebody might seem to be doing okay, or they're fucking killing it or whatever, we've all got these voices. We all, underneath, we're all human and we all believe the same, okay? So my imposter syndromes are currently, no one's going to take me seriously because I've got tattoos, strawberries on my nails, and I say fuck. And I shouldn't be teaching grown-ass adults because I'm barely an adult at 14.
Only on paper.
Okay? So I'm going to move that camera just... That's more me. That's more even.
Okay.
She's the bigger sister. But I'm literally bigger.
Which is ironic.
Right.
We also have ADHD.
Yeah,
It's the
ADHD.
fiddling.
In today's episode of ADHD isn't real. But look. Mine matches my nail.
Oh my god. We didn't even plan that.
So cool. Anyway, so when your voice is in your head aloud, Sam, what do you do? I know I've just sort of touched on one of the things that I do, but what do you do?
It varies. It varies from instance to instance. A lot of the time, if I can pinpoint whose voice that is, if I know who that is, if that's a criticism or an insult or something that I've heard many times before, it's usually someone that I don't give a about.
You can say that in front of my audience.
Someone I don't give a shit about, or someone who I certainly wouldn't go to for advice, so why the fuck would I listen to their
I
criticism?
literally said this to someone yesterday. If you wouldn't ask them for advice, why?
Yeah.
What?
If I can pinpoint that voice and be like, oh, that's...
Yeah. I'd say that to you.
I
My
can
audience knows
very
that too.
easy just like, do you know what? Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Don't want to hear what you've got to say today.
No.
So I can kind of take myself through that process quite easily if I know the voice, or if I recognise the sound of the voice that's telling me, oh, you can't do that.
One of mine is my year 6 teacher.
Oh, that bitch.
That bitch. She still lives rent free in here.
Oh my god, she looked like she's melted. Anyway, so that's one way. Another way is to really...
Oh!
I've had them less than a week.
Sam, your carpet! Oh!
Kat's now been given a solid fidget toy that she can't explode. This is why imposter syndrome happens, because people do stupid things like this and then wonder, how am I allowed out of the house
Do you
by
know what?
myself?
That doesn't mean you're shit at what you do.
Absolutely
I may
not.
have just exploded something that I was having a lot of fun with. I've ruined my own fun. But do you know what? I have got years of experience and knowledge and strategies and frameworks, and I can help people change their lives. And telling yourself that repeatedly over and over again, that despite you're about to do it, exploding things and maybe saying fuck a bit, that doesn't take away from your ability. And also, I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, or, you know, I think there's an element of honouring it as well. This does go back to our monkey brains, our lizard brains, you know, whichever angle you want to look at it at. And, you know, there's still a part of our brain that can't tell the difference between writing an email and fighting a wolf.
Exactly, which is what anxiety is, which is why the way I look at imposter syndrome is like a different variety of anxiety, because it's
A variety of anxiety.
It's like a Dalmatian plantation. Anyway, there's the adhood. I derailed myself.
Variety anxiety.
There we go. So, like Kat said, anxiety can't tell the difference between crossing a busy road and walking into a room full of people you don't know.
Yeah, it's the same hormones. It's the same, you know, flush of adrenaline. It's the same feelings.
Yeah.
And your brain, as advanced as it is just reading chemical messages. Very simply. Don't at me.
We're not scientists.
Don't at me. Sorry. So, yeah, it is just acting on literal impulses, okay? So understanding those impulses is such a huge part of it. So, you know, stopping yourself. Why am I feeling like this? Am I going to die? This is something I say to my ladies a lot. Are you going to die? No. Do the thing.
Exactly.
Because ultimately, going back to the whole, we don't know if it's a wall for a dinosaur, your brain is keeping you safe. Your brain is keeping you safe from a situation that it's not been in before or it's not used to being in. So ultimately, it's trying to, like, protecting you from dying. It knows the result of you not doing the thing. So on the other side of the thing,
it's erring on the side of caution, but times a million.
Yes.
And in the same way that we have to make space for and honour our feelings of sadness, rage, disappointment, pain, heartbreak, whatever, we also have to allow space for and honour our feelings of because our feelings are messengers. They are there to tell us something, and if we run from it, hide from it, numb it with whatever you numb stuff with and ignore it,
it's only going to come back at a different
just going to
point.
come back because you haven't heard it the first time round. So making space for it,
you haven't
honoured it the first time round. What I do, or something that I learned, where did we learn this, Annabelle? I cannot remember.
Who? What? Anxiety. Annabelle.
Naming it.
We just did it.
Okay, because we're geniuses.
We're mental.
I named my anxiety. It was a good few years ago now. Was it COVID?
I mean, it was pre-COVID because it was at Tracy's house.
And so...
It might have even been the 2015, 2016 chaos. With the Al-Anon stuff.
Maybe.
I think. Anyway.
I gave my anxiety a name, and I have passed this on to other people as well because it's really worked for me in the past. I've given it a name and sort of made it like a separate entity. Part of me, but not the main me, not the one that's in the driving seat, not the one who's actually in control. She's crazy. But Annabelle is my anxiety, and when I start feeling anxious about anything, whether it's replying to an email, I genuinely get real anxiety about that all the time.
Our sister could only ring for takeaways in the last, I'm going to say, 10 years, and she's nearly 30.
Yeah.
She really struggled with phone calls.
But if you can name it, it makes it
fuck
easier to control. You can tell it to piss off. That's right. So when the anxious. See, I can't even speak. Imposter syndrome's telling me, Sam, you're an idiot. Shut up. When those feelings pop up, if I can go, right, that's Annabelle. Annabelle's turned up. Do I need to hear what she's got to say today? Like, what's the matter? Oh, I need to reply to this email. Right. Is the world going to end? No, it's probably not. Okay, so thanks, Annabelle. Thanks for showing up. You can leave now because I don't need you anymore.
And in kind of my world, you've not finished, have you?
No,
you have finished.
Carry on, it's fine.
In my side of the work world, on the other side of doing the horrible thing and that horrible feeling is normally a real expansion of growth because your body. That's fucking terrifying. You know, you couldn't have told me 2 years ago I'd have been doing this with my sister, talking about similar things but in a completely different capacity, you know. But doing the things and working through that horrible, horrible feeling is genuinely, I'm not being cheesy, but that's where the magic happens. On the other side of that fucking horrible feeling is something pretty cool. And the easiest way I explain it to my women is, and I didn't realise this until this whole journey. Do you know what happens to a caterpillar in a cocoon, a chrysalis, a papoose? Love that word. Whatever you want to... ADHD isn't real. Can I have your squishy thing?
Absolutely not.
It literally melts.
It
dissolves into literal goo.
Warm liquid goo face.
And then somehow the goo turns into a butterfly. So when my women are, I feel like this, I'm feeling this, I'm like, are you in your gooey caterpillar stage before you do something really fucking cool? So that's one way of looking at it. And all of this to somebody that's not, slightly aware, doesn't really understand. This would just seem like batshit crazy to mentalists, which
they're not wrong.
But this is backed.
We're also very experienced and qualified mentalists.
This is psychology. Oh my God, tell me your 90s. We're really funny.
Elder millennials, that's what we are. Elder
I'm an elder emo, actually.
millennials. That's a subsection of the millennial generation.
I'm not okay. I'm not. But anyway, that is my take on imposter syndrome. It sucks. It's not just you. It's your brain keeping you safe. Your brain would rather pick a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven.
And it's particularly powerful, difficult to get a handle on if you are somebody who has always been criticised and kept small. And I'm guessing this is a mostly female audience we're going to. Women generally, we're kind of encouraged to not get above our stations and be nice and blah blah blah, and oh no, let the men do it, you know.
If you thought I was angry, anyway, we could chat shit for a long time. But Sam, where can people find you if they want to know more about you?
I can be found on Instagram, Reviresco Counselling. I appreciate that sounds like a very strange word. I will get Kat to write it.
Could you spell it and then we'll dub it?
REVIRESCO Counselling, all one word. That's me. I also have a website which is revirescocounselling.co.uk. Am I anywhere else online? I'm not, am I? No, that's it. That's where you can find me.
TikTok.
Oh, I am on TikTok as
She's
well.
a talker.
I've got the TikTok. Sam_counsellor, I think. I don't use that one too much, but I've got an awful lot of
Aggie posts.
Aggie posts on there. So
Same. That's where my ad goes. My ad goes to TikTok.
Yeah. It's a different vibe there. But
Very different vibe. But anyway, thank you so much. If you're still here, well done, we ride at dawn. And thank you. I hope this helps. And if it doesn't help, I hope it's made you laugh. All right? Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. You're fucking brilliant.
Peace out.